Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Hood Action News. I hope everybody is doing all right today. I'm sorry. I hope everybody is doing all right today. Hope everybody is feeling great. We're going to have a great broadcast today. We are your hosts. I am Gigi.
I'm Eve.
Usagi girl, say something, girl.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Some technical difficulties arose.
It's okay.
My bad.
It's okay. We hope everybody's doing all right today. It's good though. It's this happy mistakes, and we can just laugh them off and have a good time. This is why it's Hood Action News, y'all. Hood over here, but we have a good time. Welcome. So we're gonna have a back and forth tonight. Our own versions of back and forth. Shout out to RDC World for inspiration. We're gonna have a back and forth mainly about two animes. We're going to talk about Deathnote and we're going to talk about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay, so Deathnote, as you know, that anime, everybody in this house except for baby girl has watched it. She do not and have no business watching that anime no time soon. Maybe when she gets older, but not now. So everybody in this house, my husband, my child, my oldest son, he's 13, you know what I'm saying? And me, we have all watched this anime. And there is a lot to unpack. When I say unpack. So we're going to talk about part one. There's two parts. There's part one and part two. And you got the opening to part one, the opening to part two. And the contrasts between them and whatnot, and how it basically signifies the beginning of a psychopath. So you have the main character, Light Yagami. Light Yagami is this extremely smart kid. His father is in charge of the police force. He has a mom, has a sister. Guy makes great grades. You know, he's popular. Everybody likes him. He wants to become a police officer and whatnot. He's out for justice. One day he finds a book called the Deathnote. You know what I'm saying? Shinigami is up in his room. Ryuk, I love that dude. He's cool. Tells him about the Deathnote and whatnot. They have a whole conversation. And then this guy decides to put out his own way of justice. This guy is just wiping people out with no remorse. He is just doing it. But let's talk about the OP, the beginning. So when we all watch the OP of Deathnote, what's something that y'all noticed about, you know, the OP and then the rest of the first part of Deathnote? What are like the similarities of what was going on that y'all noticed about the OP that was symbolic to y'all?
The potato chip.
Yes.
The Death Note itself, him writing in it,
and
that was true.
Also, you know, that painting, I think this Da Vinci painting where, you know, the creation of God and stuff, and you have like Light laying there, and like he's basically God, and he finds himself as God, so now he could do all this stuff and whatnot. Basically, that's what you see in the beginning of the OP. Like he is the master and the ruler of all things. But so what are y'all takes on Light? What do you think about him as a person when you meet him at the beginning?
At the beginning, he seemed like he was very aloof. He feels like, he tried to act like he's very humble, but he got a superiority complex and just like, oh, these peasants, they're not on my level. I'm so bored. That's what I got from him.
Right.
Okay. Well, I thought he was like your basic average protagonist that's just like And that's basically just how do I put it? Just kind of an airhead, but like um yeah. Well, not really an air not really an airhead, but like um what's the word I'm looking for? Um um
A scatterbrain.
yeah, a scatterbrain. Just very scatterbrained and just all around just he's just he's just very uh he's just very like oblivious and just he just isn't humble enough to know that he's naive and oblivious. That's all I got.
I think for me, like light light is a highly intelligent person, but he has this huge ego complex where he thinks that if he is able to purify the world of evil, then everybody can like just worship him and everything is just fine. Like there's even an argument about is light was light actually doing the right thing. But for me, I'm like, people were already serving time in prison, so what are you doing even like killing them anyway? They're already doing time in prison, they already are being punished for their crimes. Why are you sitting here killing these people? You know what I'm saying? And I just think at first I'm like, okay, he had he had the right, in my opinion, he meant he meant well to a certain degree, but then this dude literally sat up all night and wrote 300 or 400 names in the Death Note. You sat up all night and wrote 300 names in the Death Note, man. You are mad. You are mad, and it got really extreme, like extreme. And Ryu told him from the beginning, the last name I'm writing in this Death Note is gonna be your name. Like there's, and the thing about the Death Note, which is tricky, there is so many loopholes. Like a lot of loopholes. Like you could do this, you could do that. If you take a page out, you could make a fake Death Note. All this stuff. There's so many loopholes, but no matter how many loopholes there are, at the end of the day, you're gonna end up, your name is gonna end up in that book, and you're going to perish whether you like it or not. So, you know, everything is in the first part was, it was interesting. But now we get to the second part of Death Note and we see the OP. It's crazy, especially the opening. It's the opening is, I like the opening to Death Note. It goes crazy. It's kind of hard, but you see Light slowly spiral. This man's losing it. And it's basically the beginning of the end for Light. And basically, y'all know that Light is a police officer now. He graduated, he's a police officer now. But then beforehand we meet our good old buddy L. Now L is smarter than Light. L just messed up a certain part, but L already knew the consequences of his the fate of his actions. So that was kind of sad. So what are y'all first impressions of L when y'all first seen him?
My first impressions was, go ahead, sis.
My first impressions of him was, oh look, it's that. Oh look, it's an emo kid. Let me stop. But he seems like the type of person with the Sasuke mentality at first, just running on Sasuke logic, like, I don't care, I really don't give a fuck, shit like that.
And then for me, when it came to L, I'm like, how is this man not diabetic the way he just eating snacks and sweets day in and day out for energy, and he got these crazy bags under his eyes, like he just does not rest at all.
Right.
And he sits like an animal in a chair, and it's just like, this is the person that they call to catch light. I'm like, okay, this is something different. He's not like how the suave and tall and handsome, detectives are in most animes. L was the complete opposite.
Right.
So I'm like, that is definitely different.
Yeah, for me, I'm just like, this man ain't got no shoes on. He ain't combing his hair. Like, who is this man? And like, where did they find him? Like, this is, like you said, it's like it's the total opposite, like, of a protagonist that you would see. He was totally different. I mean, but the guy overall, the man was really, he's smart. Like, he caught on real quick to Light's game. Like, he already knew Light was full of shit anyway, because he already knew, and Light didn't like that. Light did not like him, and so they didn't like each other. You know what I'm saying? The thing about L is that he was suspicious of everybody, but he was already knew that Light was about that BS. So he was like, you know what I'm saying, keep my friends close and my enemies closer. Both of them did, especially Light. So they acting like they buddy and stuff like that. But after a while, L started to see Light slip up. And then let's talk about old girl, Misa. So what are y'all first impressions of Misa?
I told airhead bimbo, and I'm like, of course she got blonde hair and big titties. I'm like, oh, here we go.
That's the scatterbrain right there. That's old scatterbrain, her. For me, I was just like, she was the ultimate yandere, to be honest, because she was just obsessed with Light. That man didn't want nothing to do with her. He didn't want nothing to do with her. And I felt I kind of felt bad for her, but I didn't. But towards the end, we'll get there. I felt really bad for her because I'm like, he just used her the whole time. But she played right into this man's hands. And it was a hot mess, y'all. It was such a hot mess.
Yeah, he just wanted her for Shinigami eyes because he didn't want to shorten his lifespan, even though the irony, it got shortened anyway at the end. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was pretty much using her for Shinigami eyes.
Right. You still there, sis? Usagi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, hold on. I'll be back. I won't have my stuff on mute, but I have to go and sign in right quick because the dorm staff is calling. But I'll be back. Okay. Y'all continue.
Okay.
So then we're back to, okay, so we're on the second part. So you got Light, Misa, L. You also got, L's assistant, who is basically a father figure to him. I thought he was cool. Then you have Light's father. Now Light's father, okay. Light's father was oblivious to everything, honey. Everything. I felt bad for his dad because his dad was really trying to stop what was going on. Like, he had faith in his son. He was like, we're going to do this. We're going to stop this. And the whole time, his son is playing in his daddy's face. And I'm just like, oh my God, why is his daddy not looking at what's going on? Even his daddy's like, my son didn't do nothing. His daddy is a real one. That's a real one for you.
Even in death, on his deathbed, he still believed in his son, and that's the sad part.
Very sad. I felt terrible what happened to his daddy. Terrible. And I'm like, man, you got your whole family out here taking up for you and rooting for you, and instead you just, just betrayed your whole family, man. Like he messed up his mama. His poor sister, Jesus Christ. That was just, this dude was just trash. Just straight up just trash. And you got the rest of the police department. It was divided. So you got a lot of them quit because they're like, no, we don't want to be a part of this. And you got some that stayed. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that stayed, there's some real ones too. But then the ones that stayed, they started like figuring out about Light, and they're just like, something is not right about him. So let's talk about Mello. So what were y'all first impressions of Mello?
Mello, like, yeah, he just came off as a hater because he was just mad that Nier got, replacement job that L had, and he didn't. And he was just like, oh, I'm going to solve this on my own to show that I'm better than Nier and all this type of stuff. Like, bruh, it's not that deep.
Exactly. Mello was irritating. I'm just like, okay, we get it. You're extra for no reason. Can you not do that? And like his attitude. I didn't like his attitude. And like and what do you guys think about Nier?
Nier, I don't really have much thoughts about Nier. Like basically he was like a baby L, and he was just pretty much finish up the job that L already did. So it's just like, he was smart too. He would do his little stacks of dominoes and cards and stuff like that. But I just felt like, in a way, I kind of agreed with Light in a way that, well, you're nothing compared to L and all this type of stuff. And in a way, he wasn't. He was just cleaning up what was already started, So,
right.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can really replace... You can't replace L. L was that dude. L got the job done. In fact, L did 90% of the work. Nier just finished 10%. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got our boy Ryuk. What was your first impressions of Ryuk? I love Ryuk. I love Ryuk. I love Ryuk.
My first impression on Ryuk, I was like, oh my God, this nigga is scary looking. That nigga gonna have me having nightmares on end for days.
Same. Like, when I first saw Ryuk, I stopped watching Deathnote. I'm like, no, he's too scary. I can't watch this. And then I came back years later and finished it. I'm like, he's funny. And I was laughing along with him when all this was going on with Kira. When Light was getting upset on everything that L was catching him on, and he was just laughing. I'm like, I'm laughing along with him because this is hilarious.
Show is like I felt the same way when I first met Ryuk. I'm like, okay, this dude looked like he just had a rough time. Because, all the Shinigamis, they live in a place of destitute and of just darkness, and they have nothing to do. They play chess all day, walk around with their death notes. Them Shinigamis look just stressed. They look horrible. So I can understand why he was bored. He wanted to have some fun, honey. I love Ryuk, especially with them apples. He was funny. Like from the beginning to the end. I thought when they had the cinematography towards the end, when they got him sitting on top of the building writing that Death Note, I love that part. And I was like, oh, this ended perfectly. So Ryuk was a vital character in Death Note. I enjoyed him from the beginning to the end. He was funny. He was a great character. I liked him. And even in the new light novel that came out a couple of years ago, when he came back, he did his thing.
What? He came back? Oh, yeah. I didn't read that.
Yes, a new light novel that they came out, a Death Note, a couple of years ago. Yes, it's good. Y'all should check it out. Like, this time the dude's trying to sell the Death Note.
What?
Girl, yes. It's a younger kid this time, so yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So
wait, so did Ryuk come back or did Light come back?
Ryuk came back.
Oh, okay.
Good old Ryuk came back. Light, he's in the upper room. He's in the upper room, so we ain't gonna see him for a very long time. In the upper room. Yes, child. Let's see who else. Okay. So a lot of things have happened. A lot of people got messed up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there has been some violent things that happened. I know the part when they were on the bus when he was on a date with that girl. That was awful. Oh my God, that was awful. That dude was shooting on the bus. That was terrible. The FBI agent, the fiance, she didn't deserve that. There was just a lot of things that happened. Now, as we're going towards the end, they light up and all this stuff, and he said he didn't do it, and they got a page of the Deathnote, and Misa's working with him. And then we get towards the end, and that's when shit goes down. So Nier figures out everything and whatnot. This is after his daddy died. His sister goes catatonic and all this stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff happened. So then they're in this little warehouse, right? Light's talking mad shit. And Nier's like, nah, buddy. Nah, buddy. And then that's when Light loses his mind. That's when he starts. Y'all remember? Ha 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 ha! He just starts laughing uncontrollably, and his eyes change colors. I'm like, yeah, this is it.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah, I'm like, so nobody hear this fool laughing, talking about he won and he got away with it. I'm like, so nobody heard none of that.
Right. I'm like, y'all not gonna do nothing? Y'all not gonna arrest this fool? Y'all not gonna do nothing? He just admitted to everything that he done. Y'all not gonna do nothing to this guy? Somebody's gotta do something. And then it goes down, and then I laughed at the part where he really thought he was gonna run away. He ran. I'm like, you're gonna run? You're running.
Like, bro, you got shot the fuck up. Like, how are you gonna run?
Right. It's over, buddy. It's over for you. And then when Ryuk started laughing at him, I was like, that's he done. He's done.
He's done. You can put a fork in him. He done.
He really thought he was going to try to run. Wait, where are you running away to? Like, why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running?
But yeah, man, that ending was epic. I enjoyed it. But it was sad, though. A lot of people died for no reason. They shouldn't have died. His daddy shouldn't have died. And I felt it was the whole family's like messed up now. It's just everything is just bad. Because this man wanted to have a perfect world. And all these people were worshiping him. And if they only knew the mindset that he had, then they wouldn't have like worshipped him like that. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Death Note. I gave it a 10 out of 10. That was one of my favorite animes that I liked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was
but
great.
When it comes to Kira, it's like the old saying go, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's exactly what it's talking about.
Yes. And it's a valuable lessons being taught in that, because you know what I'm saying, you're just being greedy like that is not gonna help the situation. And also on top of that, this man ego messed a lot of things up and got a lot of his loved ones killed over some mess. So yeah, man, we love Death Note. So now we're gonna move on to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I like Brotherhood better, y'all. I'm sorry. I in my opinion, Brotherhood is my favorite because it goes by the manga. I don't have a problem with the other one. It's cool because they add more stuff to it. But for me, Brotherhood is will always be my favorite. So we got Edward, okay, Ed. We got Al, okay. So these two kids, you know what I'm saying? They've been through some stuff, man. They've been through some stuff. So there's this thing called the law of equivalent exchange, okay? So basically, humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. So to obtain something of equal value, something must be lost. So they mom got sick. So Edward and Al's mom got sick. Now their daddy is just crap because this man left. Man, he's just as bad as Gone's dad from Hunter x Hunter. But we'll talk about that in another episode. Cause child, that little boy is dangerous and he needs some Jesus and he needs prayer and he needs help in his life. That little boy, Jesus, Lord have mercy. But
he a demon seed. I'm sorry.
girl, I agree. He is a demon. He is a demon seed. I agree with that. That boy is crazy. He's crazy. Gone is crazy. But we're gonna talk about that later, y'all. If we have enough time, we'll talk about that. So, basically, they mama gets real sick, man, and they love their mama. They love their mama, and so the mama gets sick. Okay, Ed tries to perform this ritual, and it doesn't. He breaks the law basically with alchemy, and while doing it, oh my God! If you see the scene of where he tried to bring his mama back and how his mama looks,
oh my goodness, that gives me nightmares.
That broke my heart. I'm like, oh, this don't look so good. So in terms of when he did that, he lost his arm and he lost his leg. Al lost his soul. So, but he was able to make a suit to put his brother's soul inside of the armor. And then they started working for the government and shit. You know what I'm saying? And all the adventures started to happen. So, what are y'all first impressions of Ed besides him having that little Napoleon complex, getting mad because he's short? I'm sorry. Them little animations of him getting upset. Them little animations of him getting upset had me cracking up laughing, honey.
Besides that little hair on his head being taller than he was, I felt like he was just one of those little smart aleck kids who thought he knew everything and all adults were dumb and all that type of stuff.
Right.
So that's why he thought he could get away with doing human transmutation, even though their teacher warned them about, because the teacher tried it with her unborn child, and then pretty much all her body parts, like her intestines and stuff, were gone. But that's another story.
Yeah, she can't even have any kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but the point is, Edward thought he knew it all. That's basically what I thought.
Right.
Oh, okay. I honestly thought Ed was like a smartass, your typical main protagonistic smartass who thought he knew everything in the world as it was, but then he seems like the type of kid. He seems like the type of guy. If you were to like put your foot out and trip him, he would start crying and start bitching and moaning about, why did you do that? Why did you do this to me? You freaking idiot.
Ed was a character. He's a hothead. Ed was a hothead, and he thought that he could do this and that and whatever. But through time, I've seen a lot of character development with him, because the one thing about Ed I did like is that he loved his brother. He loved Al, and he did anything to protect his brother at all costs. And I had to respect him on that. And he loved his brother, and I love their bond with each other. And Al was his word. Al is the only thing left, because his daddy ain't nothing but a piece of horse shit, aka the color purple. Shout out to Silly, but Al was the only thing that he had left when his mama died. So he had to he was like, I'm gonna get my brother's soul back, and they got it back, and he was able to grow. And then we have Al. I love Al. Oh, Al is a
Sweetie.
sweetheart.
He was so sweet. Oh my God.
Like Edward said, he was kindness in a can.
He was.
Like,
He's such a
he's
sweet.
so
He's just sweet.
he's so cute and sweet, and oh my gosh, I want to feed him. I want to give him all the Funyuns.
That's the funniest.
It's just
But yeah, it was
adorable.
cute how he would help people hide in his armor. You know, he was open his chest cavity and just let people hide up in there.
Yes.
Owl must be protected at all costs. We are the Owl Protection Squad.
Exactly. I love me some Al. He was just so cute. And he was so
I'm just
sweet. He was
Oh
just
my
sweet.
God, he's so cute.
And I like, his little apron that he had on. I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
cute. And then, like,
He was
the thing.
so
Oh, go
sweet.
ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
He was so sweet trying to help people out in need. And like AE said, I always remember people, trying to hide in his armor, which was a sweet thing to do. And oh my God, he didn't deserve what he got to him. He didn't deserve what came to him.
Yeah, and the Fuhrer, he wasn't about shit, because remember when the Chimera lady was hiding up in his cavity, and
Yes.
the Fuhrer, he put the knife under his helmet and killed her. I'm like, you bastard.
That hurt me. I ain't like that. I'm just like, ugh. And you know what? Let's talk about the Fuhrer. This dude is a menace to society. He was a horrible person, and then he is crazy. His son is a demon. Just, oh my goodness.
Literally.
Yes. My first impressions of the Fuhrer, I was like, this man is bad news. I don't like this dude. This dude is, oh my God, he is just terrible. But I'm glad Scar tapped that ass. Shout out to Scar, one of my favorite characters. Love that guy.
Yeah, I love me some Scar.
That nigga was out here fighting everybody. Scar was the dude. We gonna talk about Scar in a little bit, but I didn't like the Fuhrer. Fuhrer was, he
definitely caused Roy some stress. Most definitely.
Oh, Roy. Poor Roy.
He couldn't do nothing once it was raining because his glove
showed it. He made Roy's life a living hell at one point, and Roy was just like, yes. And let's talk about Scar. Scar, man, let me tell you something about Scar, man. I like me some Scar. That man been through some stuff. Through some stuff, and his anger is warranted. It is warranted. He has every right to be upset about everything
that they did to Ishbal.
Yes.
Yeah, they just went up there and just shot folks.
Right, that killing people. That was literally committing genocide, man. It was awful. That I love that guy, and I felt so bad for all the stuff that happened to him. So he had every right to be upset the way he did. His mama's dead, his daddy dead, his brother. Oh my! They killed his brother. That's when he lost it right then and there.
Yeah, his lover died.
I felt so bad for this man. So he had every right to be mad. So, like, what are y'all's impressions of Scar?
Oh, he scared me. The way he was to make people head explode.
That did scare me too. I'm like, okay, ain't messing with this dude. He looks like he means business.
Right.
What do y'all think about Ling?
Ling Yao?
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's your run-of-the-mill anime character that always loved to eat. I didn't think much of him at first, but he can throw down.
He
though.
sure
He
can.
fight.
He sure can. There was a lot of them in Full Metal that could fight. Olivia. That was Alex's sister.
Oh,
Girl,
definitely kicked some ass.
she was crazy. I like her. She was great. She was definitely one of my favorites because she wasn't playing around. She was whooping everybody's ass. She had them men. She shaped them up. She was a captain. She was not playing around. She made sure her all of her troops did what they was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And May, I love May. She's a cutie pie.
Oh yeah, with her little panda bear.
Yes. Now May Hughes. This is gonna be a short conversation. Jesus.
Oh yeah, Markiplier.
Yeah, he had to die like that in that phone booth, bro. That was just terrible. I was just sad.
His white face.
Girl,
Envy was trash for that.
That trash, and then his daughter is crying at the funeral, and here comes the Fuhrer getting mad because the daughter's crying at the funeral. The girl's daddy just died. She can't grieve.
Yeah, she dead because of your folks, because he's a homunculus. We done found out the Fuhrer was a homunculus.
And Salim, ooh, Jesus. That little kid scared me. That little kid was like Chucky.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, that little boy was scary. I was like, okay, I don't like this kid. This kid is out here. He's a whole demon. So we're gonna talk about the 7 deadly sins. So you got greed. You got greed.
I like greed.
Greed was cool, man. Greed was trying to do the right thing towards the end. I ain't had no problems with greed. And greed was funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
he was
funny.
Gluttony
was disgusting.
Gluttony scared me. He scared me.
Yeah, he scared me too.
Yes, he was nasty. His transformations were disgusting.
That last transformation in that movie. Oh my goodness!
Girl, look, that transformation of his gave me PTSD. I'm not joking.
He was gross.
Oh my god. Ugh.
That was just nasty.
Now lust. She can get it. Please marry me.
Beautiful.
I love Lust. I love Lust, but Roy cooked her good.
He made her cremated.
So did. She was nothing but she was like some barbecue at one point. I was like, turn her over. She's done. That was it. Envy was an asshole. I'm just like, and end up turning into a whole reptile child. Like, come on, Envy. I was like, Envy got on my nerves. I'm sorry. He was irritating, and he was the one that killed Hughes Mays. And I'm like, if you don't sit your dumb ass down somewhere.
Yeah, because he's scarred because Hohenheim left him like he left Edward, but yet you mad at Edward.
Exactly.
Like y'all both got left. So why you mad at Edward first? For? Like, why?
Right, like you doing all this for what reason? Now look at you. You in somebody's fish tank. Sit down. Right. He's not a memorable character, but he can burn in hell. Is old Shal Tucker. This guy, what he did to his daughter is unforgivable.
Yes.
One of the worst anime characters in history. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him. Thinking about him gets me upset. But you have Izumi. Izumi was the boys' teacher. She was out here kicking ass too. And shout out to Sid Curtis, her husband, the butcher. Good dude. He took care of his wife. That man loved his wife.
He loved his wife.
So did. He was out here taking care of her. That's a good dude. And then you got Rock Bell. That's the older lady that took care of the boys. And who else? I'm trying to think. Who else? Winry.
Oh,
Ed's baby mama, future baby mama. That girl was very intelligent. very intelligent. She was the one that put together all of the weapons and everything. Cute girl. Cute girl.
His auto mail, yeah.
Yes. Riza, I like Riza. She had the whole map on her back.
Baby mama, well, at least should be.
Should be. And then you got who else? I'm trying to think of anybody else. That's all I can think of so far.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. But it was a good I appreciated that anime. I loved it. I loved the soundtrack. I just loved the characters. I loved everything about this anime. From beginning to the end. It was like they took us on an adventure. All of us on one big adventure. And just to see these two brothers, the love they had for each other, the way they fought for each other, and then they had all these friends that joined along with them. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing. And y'all know, I think Ed ended up marrying who Ed ended up marrying?
Winry. He married Winry.
No, Al ended up marrying May. When she got older.
Oh, I thought you said Ed. Oh, no, yeah. Al, he married May.
Yeah, he ended up marrying May. So, everybody, went off in the world, did what they had to do. They came back together. I enjoyed it. Ed was able to grow. Al got his soul back. It was good. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out. And I enjoyed it. Like, what do y'all think of Fullmetal Alchemist? We got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, overall, it was like one of the best animes made.
Yes.
Mangas animes made. Like, it really had a great storyline. It was something that was different. Like the antagonist, the protagonist actually had to work, and it wasn't a bunch of plot armor.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But so I think Fullmetal Alchemist to me is one of the most legendary and iconic animes that we will never ever get to see again in the new generation now that these basic generic anime characters don't have that type of essence. It's just full of boring, lame plot armors and just a lame just a lame whatchamacallit, it's just overall a lame dialogue.
And with these new animes, like the what is it, oh my gosh, like the titles are too long and stuff like that, and it makes no sense. So I'm just thankful that this anime, was one that I watched and I enjoyed through and through, and I'm glad that my family saw it and we all enjoyed it together. But oh man, we gotta get off here. So with that being said, thank y'all for coming through tonight. We appreciate it. And we'll see y'all on Sunday. With that being said, this is the Hood Action News. I'm Gigi.
I'm Usagi.
And I'm AE.
And we'll see y'all next time. Y'all be safe and have a good night.